In the first video of this series, I talked about needing to treat songwriting like a job if you want to make money at it. What I want to talk about in this video is understanding where the bar is set and accepting that your songs aren't ready yet. Now, as a writer myself, I know how difficult that can be. I mean, first of all, we love our songs. They're our babies, and nobody wants to hear that their baby's ugly. So the instinct can be to just reject any criticism you get so you don't have to feel that discomfort. But if you're doing that, you're missing a chance to learn and grow. An even bigger reason I think that it's hard to understand is that when you listen to your songs, they work for you. You get how smart that idea was. You feel all that emotion you poured into your song. But what you need to understand is that all that came from inside you, so there's an automatic connection between you and that song. It doesn't necessarily mean you've crafted it in a way that's going to make that same connection for some total stranger who just turns on the radio or hits play. And another thing that I sometimes think makes writers believe they're farther along than they are is that they've been listening to those hits, they've been working really hard on being commercial, and their friends and fans might be saying, "Oh, your stuff sounds just like what's on the radio." Well, sometimes the problem is it sounds too much like what's on the radio. Artists want to stand out from the crowd. Now, yeah, there are certain subjects and musical feels and contemporary language that becomes very popular and it gets used over and over, and that's what the artists want. But they want songs that do that in a fresh, different way that they haven't heard before. It's like you have to be the same, only different. And a lot of writers get really good at being the same part, but that fresh and different part is a whole lot harder. Now, I have no doubt there are some of you out there thinking, "Well, yeah, but she hasn't heard my songs." And I know you're like that because I used to be exactly like that. Probably still am sometimes. But I will tell you this, I've known a lot of hit writers, and none of them started out writing hits. Even when they got to the point where they were writing with hit writers and getting mentored by publishers, it still took most of the time years before their songs were making money. And one of my publisher friends says when he signs new writers to their first deal, he doesn't expect them to turn in anything he can pitch for the first 18 months. And those are just writers far along enough and good enough to get a publishing deal from one of the best publishers in Nashville. So if you still believe that your songs are already commercially viable, is that because you're the exception to the rule? Could be. Anything's possible, but more likely it's that you haven't yet learned enough about what's commercial and where the bar is set to make an accurate assessment of that. Writing songs for a living is a very, very difficult process. So if you're going to aspire to that, get ready for lots of criticism and lots of rejection for a long time. And don't be so cocky you don't think you need to get better. Be confident enough to believe that you can.